change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you?
What's up, people? Dude, how we doing? Yeah, that is a good song, isn't it? Let's go. What year is the song that we just heard, Do You Need? That was recorded in 1998. This one right here is 98. And the song that opened it, the song that opened the show, Radiant, was 2002. That was here in Portland. That was a two-piece Portland band called Number 3 Breakdown. Really good band. I've been lucky to have some really good fucking bands. And you know what's crazy about it? This is the thing that's really interesting about this is that I had some really fucking good bands and I made some really catchy, really incredible music. And yet I never had a career, right? I mean, the closest thing I had to a career was when I was solo touring and I was like making a living as an indie artist, but I still had to have a job when I wasn't on tour. And it's wild how you can be so fucking talented, right? You can be so good and just not have a career, you know? You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it's weird how it works, how it's like a timing thing. You know, it's not just enough to, I guess, be talented and to write. You know what I'm saying? It's not just enough to be talented and be skilled. Like, you just can't really control that shit. You know? You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things. It's timing, it's you know, connections. It also, some of it has to do with the right thing at the right time. Like this is what I have come down to realize with things is it's the timing is really the thing, right? Like, and that is one thing that I guess hampered me musically, right? Which is you really need to be sort of the first of the thing, right? If you really want to make an impact, there's two things. There's either you're the first of the thing and it happens, or you are later on down the line and you just get very fortunate and your connections and shit and everything work out. But normally, right, it is about being, you know, the right thing at the right time and being the first version of it that really fucking gets it going. But the music industry, though, is very different now. Like now, you don't even really need a record label. I mean, record labels aren't going to sign you anyway until you already have something that is selling, right? It's very different. You know, very different. Happy to catch you live. Let's go. Dude, welcome to the new live catchers. We appreciate you guys. Glad you're here. Somebody asked about the Gibson SG, and yes, I still have the Gibson SG. I have a couple of guitars. I have the Gibson SG. I have my Jaguar, which was like my original, not my original, but my original long-term guitar. There are a couple guitars I don't have anymore. My original Strat. I had a Gretsch, like an Epiphone Gretsch and an Epiphone Les Paul. And I also had a Squier Jagmaster, which was a pretty amazing guitar, right? And then, you know, that's my original Tacoma acoustic that I toured with. I had a baby Taylor, but I actually gave that to Bryce. When he moved to New York, I gave him my Taylor acoustic, you know, as like a parting gift. But yeah, man, it's pretty interesting, right? Was that act the Wanteds? Was what act the Wanteds? Which act? Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's really weird how like music is again, it's timing, dude. It's fucking timing, bro. Right? Stuff I play as interim. You mean the stuff here, the stuff that we hear on this stream? So there are a yeah, all right, that person, dude, I don't know what their fucking thing is. They can fuck directly off, boss. They said they're leaving. We're making them leave. Bye-bye. Dude, you don't have to announce you're leaving. No one cares, right? You can go fuck yourself privately. Right? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Dude, what an idiot. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm going to out that person for being an idiot. Talking about satanic worship in the record labels. Dude, people are fucking dumb, bro. But so the music you hear here on stream, you hear 3 things on stream. Well, there's 4 things. One thing you hear is the song Drown, and right, that's the stuff with the electronic drums, the real snappy, you know, nothing is what I say, I feel far away. There's a couple songs from that EP, which are the Wanted's first recording, and that was in 2003, okay? You'll hear that on stream. The other thing you hear is Do You Need and More and Freedom, and those songs are from my band Full Blown Red in 1998. Then you also will hear Radiant, You're on Blue, and Wonderful Mess, which are from Number 3 Breakdown. That's a Portland band in 2002. And Full Blown Red, the 98 band, is the band I moved to Portland with, right? And then the other thing you'll hear, which is like Her Acid and Snow Castles and Red, and those are songs from my band Soul Driver, but a 4-piece version of that band, right? Soul Driver went through many incarnations, and that is from 1997. And I actually found something, guys, the other day on my laptop that I'm going to bring in the next couple days here, but I found my Columbia Records demo from 1998, which was a re-recording of Her Acid, a song called I Quit, and then something else. I can't remember, because what happened was, so you ready? I'm going to tell you a little story. We're going to start with a little story time, okay, about the big miss, okay? This is my big miss in LA. So in 96, okay, in 96, I recorded, dude, Jazzy, 5 gifteds, let's go. Welcome to the new members. This is a fun story. So in 1996, I recorded my first album, all right, with my band Soul Driver. I paid for it myself. The studio time, I met this guy who had a studio. I met him at a party through my friend Zara. She was this wonderful Iranian girl that I like took some very amazing pictures of me. She was a photographer, all round like queen. Okay, so Zara introduced me to Bert in 97. I recorded my album Circus Freak for the band Soul Driver. Okay, now that record, a friend of mine, the guy that like originally when I was 21 years old had moved down to Redondo Beach with me, he played on that record. I sent that record, Soul Driver, Circus Freak, to every record label in town. And I got a couple hits back from like A&M and Columbia. And the reason why I got called by Columbia was because that friend of mine who had moved to Redondo with me, who played bass on that record and wasn't even in the band, he went to high school with the A&R rep of Columbia. So the A&R rep opens up my CD and sees a guy he went to high school with had played bass on the record. So then he came to the show, okay? This guy, his name was Robert. So Robert came to the show, and my friend Bob was no longer in the band. But Robert was like, holy shit, I fucking love your band, okay? And so Robert was like my biggest fan, okay? And then the head of A&R was, I believe her name was Nancy Walker, I think. She was Columbia, let me see. Or Nancy. Yeah, it was. Nancy Walker was a senior director of A&R. And so Robert worked for Nancy Walker. Okay, now, this started my foray into the major labels because her assistant, Robert, started coming to all our shows. And he was very into the band. Okay, but you ready? This is what's fucked up. So he started hearing about us from other people around town, this, that, and the other. And then he wanted a demo of like the current band. And so at the time, the band was myself, Jason, the bass player from Full Blown Red, who then moved back to Georgia and died of a heart attack at 35. And this guy named Richard, who was a drummer from England. Okay, so we were a 3-piece version. We had a big buzz. Robert loved us. Nancy Walker loved us. And because Nancy Walker loved us, I was able to make connections with like Jimmy Iovine at Interscope. And like other people got interested in you because that's how it works in LA. When you're able to drop a name of a big A&R person who likes you, everybody starts being, if they like you, maybe we should like you too. But now, Robert, though, very important, Robert wanted a new demo. He wanted a demo of me and Jason and Richard and the songs that he was into. Okay, you ready? So here's what I did. First off, my relationship with Bert, the studio guy, was going sour. He kept bumping me because I was paying like less money. I didn't have enough money to pay his full rate. So he kept bumping me and kept bumping me and kept moving the studio time. So Columbia, Robert kept being like, dude, where's that demo? Why aren't you getting me that demo? You said it was going to be done a month ago. You said it was going to be done 3 months ago. And I was horribly late, which didn't make me look good. It made me look like I don't hold true to my word. Made me look like I was unreliable. Okay? And then you know what ultimately happened, guys? I finally finished the demo. 3-song demo. I made it. I was listening to it. I made the package. I sent the package off to Robert and I awaited to hear from him. And about a week later, I got a message from him and he said, he's like, I don't know what your game is, but just so you know, I don't fucking appreciate like this bullshit. Okay. He's like, I was very into your band. I've been to see you many times. You've dodged me many times. I did. I kind of played some games with him of dodging him. He dodged me. He's like, you've dodged me many times. This demo, I waited. I put my neck on the line for you. It was months late. And then he's like, you sent me an empty CD case? Like, what the fuck is your fucking problem? Like, I don't even understand. Like, you know what? I don't want to understand, is what he said. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I went to my stereo and the CD was in there. I sent him an empty CD case, dude, months late. And he was pissed. And he was like, I forgot to take the CD out of the player. I didn't double check it. He thought I was just fucking with him. And so that blew up the Columbia deal. And then it blew up Nancy Walker having any interest in my band. And then pretty soon it blew up everybody in town having interest in my band. And then the drummer and I had a falling out. And so I kicked him out. And then we stole my friend Shane's drummer and we created Full Blown Red, recorded a new recording, and then I left LA and I moved to Portland. Now, here's the silver lining though, guys, okay? Because there's always a silver lining. So if that demo had been in there, let's say the demo was in there and I got signed by Columbia Records, okay, which I think there was a good chance it was going to happen. I don't think I'd be here, guys. I'm pretty sure I would have died. I at the time, with the drug use and the way I was living and the alcohol use and my sort of inability to process my emotions, I experienced some fame, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. If I had experienced fame on the level I had with Fortnite in 1998, 99, while I was doing drugs, while I was in LA, I don't think I would have made it out of that alive, guys. I honestly don't. I'm fairly certain I would have fucking gone way out on an ego bender and I would have probably died of a drug overdose or something fucking bad. And instead, I fucked up the Columbia Records. I fucking moved to Portland with the band. The band broke up. Everybody left. I stayed in Portland, ended up touring the country as a one-man indie rock band and eventually, got a girl pregnant and then had a kid, gave up music. And then when that kid was, 14 years old, he talked me into playing Fortnite. And then I ended up becoming famous as a Fortnite player. And now here we are starting this whole political journey. And it all started, though, because I fucking left that CD out of that case, man. Isn't that crazy? And now I'm also 18 years sober, right? So, dude, there's wins and there's losses, right? But isn't that crazy? Isn't that fucking crazy, guys? To think if I had only put that CD in there, what the difference would have been, right? Who knows? Maybe I'm dead. Because I will say this, I had some other friends get signed to record labels, and like most of the friends that I knew that got signed to record labels ended up dead, boss. Like, I shit you not. At a young age, dude. It is not a fucking healthy it is not a healthy industry, right? You know what it is it's like, it's the in-betweens, okay? If you make it really, really big, right? If you're like a Pink or a Taylor Swift or, an Incubus or a Korn or whatever, Green Day, if you make it like that level big, you have a decent chance of survival. But the bands that don't make it that level big, that slug away on the road for years and while they're irrelevant to dwindling sizes of like rooms until they're playing smaller and smaller rooms and then they can't even fill them. And then the record labels like drop them and they don't have any money. They've been touring for, 10 years and they have no money. They end up owing a bunch of money. They can't get any new record deals. They don't own any of their music. And they usually have developed a drug habit from being on the road for a decade or more. And they end up fucking dying, man. They end up dying really young of drug overdoses or other reckless behavior brought on by heartbreak and being in an unwinnable situation. Because the music scene, the 90s was fucking terrible. The music it's brutal. It's a brutal existence because the way they sign people, people will, like, sometimes you get signed and the record label has no intention of ever releasing your music, right? You sound like one of their other bands that they're promoting. So they sign you and they put you in the studio for years and they pay for you to record, but you don't own any of the shit you record, and then they just reject it for like 8 years. And then you wasted 8 years of your life and you don't own any of your music and you're just fucked. right? They signed you to make sure nobody ever heard you. And that happens like 70% of the time. 70% of the record signings are people they have no intention of ever releasing. They're signing to make them disappear. And it's brutal. It terrorizes those people. And they don't have any health care. They don't have any money. They don't have any control over that work, right? Dude, it's fucking wild, bro. It is like one of the gnarliest industries. And then the other thing they do, guys, which is probably even worse, is if your band is being successful and it's generating money, they will literally just give you anything, okay? If you're a heroin addict and your band is successful, they will make sure that a heroin dealer is traveling with your entourage. I'm serious. They absolutely will. They will make sure that you have that drugs in order to stay showing up for the stage. Oh my God, they did that with Queens of the Stone Age, where they blew up the band, but they knew the band was like touring so hard, they were making so much money that they were like, fuck it. They just pumped so many drugs into that band until that band like essentially hated each other. But they did it, you know what I'm saying? But they did it fucking, you know, to like cash in strike while the iron was hot. And they do that a lot, man. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Could be put on the back burner. Yeah, so FML, so the thing I'm talking about is not even about competing with bands. What I was talking about FML is them getting rid of sound-alikes, okay? Right? So like what happens is in a hot market, right? What'll happen is say, you know, like, you know, somebody happens, you know, you have somebody that blows up like, you know, Everclear, okay? Or Nirvana or Pearl Jam, okay? So what'll happen is the label, right? You know, Nirvana comes out on Geffen, and then what happens with Geffen is anybody that Geffen finds that sounds remotely like Nirvana, Geffen will sign and bury to make sure that no other fucking label could sign a Nirvana sound-alike and potentially take away from Nirvana. Now, Nirvana's a bad example because they were so big that they had that unique thing. But you know what I mean? It's more about the in-between bands. Like if they have a band that's not a Nirvana, but could be a successful touring band and get some radio airplay, they might find any other band that sounds like that band and then sign them and shelve them just to make sure that nobody gets that piece of the pie, right? Like, right? That's sort of what they do because there's like layers of bands. There's like the really successful ones that make, you know, millions. And then there's bands that have like steady touring revenue and they have steady fan bases and shit and get a little bit of radio airplay. And so they will make sure that nobody, you know, they don't want anybody to sound like that, right? And I mean, they did that a lot with, you know, with the power pop shit, okay? Like Blink 182, like the minute Blink 182 started picking up steam, every band that sounded like Blink 182 just got bought and shelved, bro. Like everyone, dude. Dude, Mother Love Bone. No, Mother Love Bone, those guys were front runners, okay? Mother Love Bone was like Green River and Malfunction. Those were like Seattle glam bands, and they were kind of the first Seattle 90s band, Mother Love Bone was, and they got signed and created that record, Apple. But then, you know, right after it came out or right before it came out, Andrew Wood died of a drug overdose, which was highly unfortunate, right? Dude, Mother Love Bone they were cool. They were one of the early in guys. That was really sad too. Dude, you know, yeah, Mother Love Bone is sad, dude. Andrew Wood, he was Chris Cornell's roommate. He was fucking, you know, he was one of the fucking, dude, I loved Andrew Wood. Man, Mother Love Bone was one of my favorite bands. Dude, it was heartbreaking when he died, dude. Because they would have been big. But, you know, if you didn't have Mother Love Bone, if he didn't die, there's no Pearl Jam, you know? And Pearl Jam were, I think, certainly bigger than Mother Love Bone were going to be. Mother Love Bone were different. They would have been big. Like, don't get me wrong, partially because of Andrew Wood's charisma, but they were kind of like a you know, I don't know. He had a little bit of an Axl Rose kind of vibe to him. Andrew Wood did. And they would have been a little bit more of a cock rocking band, Mother Love Bone would have, as opposed to what Pearl Jam became, which was more of like, I don't know, like, you know, it had a little bit of emo, the early emo guys, you know, the radio activist, fucking, you know, I don't know. Andrew Wood was very Axl Rosey, you know? He was like Axl Rose meets the New York Dolls. But yeah, dude, the 90s were crazy. But, dude, Seattle was great though, guys, because what happened is I can't even tell you how many LA bands moved to Seattle during the 90s to try and get signed, which opened up the doors for a lot of different music. Like, I think if Seattle hadn't happened, there's certain bands like Incubus and, you know, Coal Chamber that I don't know, or even Korn, I don't know if those bands would have popped, right? A lot of that LA shit really happened because there was still a lingering sort of hair band, like post Guns N' Roses kind of vibe, like Blackboard Jungle and all those, you know, Gazaris and Rainbow sort of strip bands. And then when Seattle blew up, all those guys like that were chasing record deals, they moved to Seattle and started dressing like Pacific Northwest because they knew that Andrew Wood, and there was like a real glam sort of thing that was going on that was a little dirtier in Seattle. So a whole bunch of shitty, like old musicians moved out of LA en masse, bro, in the mid 90s. That helped like a lot of crazy other shit come out. You know what I'm saying? Dude, yeah, dude. Well, Jane's Addiction, I'm going to go on the record and say this. Okay, you ready? Jane's Addiction, I'm telling you this right now. You're going to get a hot take here. But if there was no Jane's Addiction, guys, there was no Seattle. Okay? I will tell you that right now. If Jane's Addiction had not come along, there would have been no fucking Seattle. Alternative rock, Nirvana, none of that would have happened if it wasn't for Jane's Addiction, because they were the first truly alternative band that got signed to Warner Brothers. I mean, unheard of, okay? Unfucking heard of. They got signed to Warner Brothers, and they were like alternative. They looked different. They weren't cock rock. They were artistic. They were unique. They had a sound with a bunch of echo and shit that was like brand fucking new. And Smashing Pumpkins and Nirvana and Alice in Chains and all of that Seattle shit, they would not have made it through the door if it wasn't for Jane's Addiction. And they did it in the craziest ways, guys, because they never played the Strip, dude. They were playing warehouses, okay? They used to play this club on Highland called Scream, and they would play the Annie Club, which is a shithole way down on Melrose by the Hollywood Freeway. And then what they did was they literally rented like warehouses downtown, and they had strippers and the Jim Rose circus and shit. And they had these crazy fucking parties with like 300, 400 people like showing up. And it was like the goth scene and the underground rock scene and the Chili Peppers and Fishbone and like everybody that was outside of the Strip in the entire fucking city was a part of what they built. And then they got signed to Warner Brothers, which was unfucking heard of. Okay, a white guy with dreadlocks in this androgynous, where the guys kiss each other on stage, right? They were freaks. Okay, they were like androgynous, like LGBTQ slash straight freaks, okay, and completely outside of the mainstream music scene, and they became the biggest, most powerful fucking band in LA, signed to Warner Brothers Records, right, in fucking 1988, bro. They literally, they defined, and then Jane Says was like a radio hit, and they defined fucking indie, like alternative rock. At that point, before that, freaks like them never got looked at, okay? If you, like all the people in Seattle wearing long johns under their shorts, they would have never even been looked at, man. You know? It was crazy, dude. Dude, they literally, like, fucking did it. Yeah, no, I saw that, Bradshaw. I saw the punch. I had front row tickets. I had, like, fucking second row tickets to see Jane's Addiction here in Portland. I spent a lot of money on second row tickets to take Jenny and Bryce, and then it got canceled because Perry fucking, you know, punched Dave Navarro. Dude, fucking idiot, bro. I mean, dude, yeah, they have a lot of issues. Perry has a lot of issues. But Jane's, though, I can't even tell you, though, what they did for the music scene, man. They really opened it up, right? They opened a door that was pretty crazy. Alice in Chains is good. But yeah, man, dude, the 90s though, dude, I feel like it was a really great time to be alive in LA musically. Haven't seen Gift? I have seen Gift. Yeah, I own it. Right? I was obsessed with Jane's Addiction. I have all their videos and bootlegs, and I've seen them, you know, I don't know, like a dozen times. Right? I've seen pornos for pyros at Dragonfly and shit. I met the guys in the band. I've had a Jane's thing for a long time. I've never met Dave, but I met Eric and Perry and fucking Stephen Perkins. Right? I never met Dave, but he's a little elusive, right? But dude, yeah, Jane's was crazy. You saw Jane's open for the Pixies? Nice. Yeah, no, I saw them at the Palladium multiple times. I saw them at Lollapalooza fucking multiple times. I've seen them, where else? Like I said, I saw a porno for pyros at Castaic Lake and at Dragonfly. I saw a special Jane show at Club Lingerie. You like Space Hog? Dude, Space Hog is good. Man, it's crazy, dude. 90s was good shit, dude. Good shit, bro. Oh, Lord. All right, you ready? You ready to talk some politics? All right, dude. So, guys, we gotta talk about Candace Owens. Did you guys see the Candace Owens shit? I mean, this is happening, of course, at the same time that they are. All right, so I know you've seen the videos of like ballistics people saying Charlie Kirk was shot from the back. Okay? And we've seen some of that. If you have some good sort of video links of those people, I'd like to look at that. If there's a video on YouTube we should watch about this. But dude, we have to talk about Candace Owens because she literally went crazy. Okay? All right. So first off, look at this. Okay? This happened 2 days ago. Okay? She did these Instagram stories. Okay? You ready? And here's what she says. She said, Tyler Robinson is not suicidal. The entire narrative that was placed in the media about him having been suicidal is completely fictional, as are many other aspects of what we have been told. Okay, she says his father having turned him in after a confession is also complete fiction. To the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence and has never even been to the UVU campus. Read that again, guys. She says, to the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence and has never even been to the UVU campus. There are absolutely zero photos or video that the campus can produce to the contrary. Okay, now, listen to this, okay? Because we're going to talk about this, because I think there's some legitimate shit here. All right, you ready? She says, which is why they have produced nothing other than a blurry image, which Tyler's family knows is not him. Tyler has never once expressed a suicidal thought. I want to make that clear. The federal government is lying about absolutely everything other than the fact that it is his gun. Okay? Then she goes on to say, not that we needed further substantiation, but Tyler Robinson did not author those Discord messages. Now, I know we all find that believable. I know that for me, I was like, I don't know, I was kind of a little won over by the fixation on the gun and the cop car and shit. But dude, we all know that like 20-year-old people don't talk the way they did in those messages. You know, oh, I've got to move my vehicle quite promptly, please. You know, and then right here, she says, I would like to stress that he has never been to UVU campus, but, and I need to confirm this later, I believe he was around the campus on that day. Now, this is where it gets weird because he was in that Dairy Queen, guys. Okay, you've seen the photo of him in the Dairy Queen, right? You remember like this one, okay? He was in the fucking Dairy Queen, okay? And which is 17 minutes from the UVU campus, okay? Not him. No, this is definitely him, okay? This coyote, this is him. If you look at it, that's 100% him with the hat and the glasses, the shirt. This is literally everything he wears, okay? Now, we don't know why he was up there or what. But she goes on. You ready? She says, I will have more on this later, but I wanted to immediately publish that the Tyler Robinson suicide narrative plus the dad that did the right thing after realizing his son was guilty is a federal concoction. So yeah, no, we're talking about the stairway photo. Okay, we're talking about this one. Okay, this photo. Okay, this photo is iffy. Okay? Right? I mean, this photo doesn't really look like him. Okay? You know what I mean? I mean, it looks like it's trying to be like him, but he always wears the same fucking hat. And he always wears the same glasses and shit. But his jawline, it's pretty blurry, but this guy doesn't really look like him. He's got I don't know. This person, he's got a wider jaw, a rounder face. This person seems more gaunt and a much sharper jawline. Okay? A much like. All right. And look at the hair, dude. The hair's different. Okay. I don't know, dude. Now, here's though, you ready? So here's what's interesting, guys. Okay. There are. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot. You know what I mean? Now, the red shirt pic confirmed to be Tyler. I mean, I don't know how you confirm or don't confirm, but I mean, this absolutely looks like him. Okay. This is, and as far as I understand that this picture has been verified that it exists, that he was in that DQ. It's not an AI. It's an actual real picture, right? Now, I don't know. This person is like, see, here's what's crazy. You ready? This person looks skinnier than him. You know, it really does. He's a little meatier. Okay, but now let's just say this. So one of the things we should watch, Candace Owens, let me pull up a fucking video of somebody who looks at this, and let me find the Candace Owens thing, okay? Because Candace talks about this, all right? So let me just say this, all right? One of the things that Candace Owens talks about, okay, you ready, is one of the things that Candace Owens talks about, and again, she may be off on a rocker, she may be grifting, but she said that UVU campus has cameras everywhere, okay? UVU does, all right? And now, let me just show you here something. Let me just show you something here, okay? I want to look at this, okay? Wait, no, let me find the one with the fucking thing. Let me find the one with the fucking, with the actual campus, the timeline. Is it this one? No, there's one in particular that I'm looking for. There it is. It's this one. Okay. So check this out, guys. So this is the driveway over here that had the camera with the TMZ video where he's walking left to right. Okay. Then he goes through the parking lot. Now he goes through this parking lot. Okay. Then the parking garage, the stairwell photos are from this parking garage. There's an underground tunnel that comes up a stairwell into this parking garage. That's where the photos of him coming up in the stairwell are. Then presumably he walked across campus, but there are cameras everywhere on UVU. It is my understanding that you can't walk anywhere on this campus without being in the sight of multiple cameras. Okay, both indoor and outdoor. Okay, right? And so this is what's very strange. Now, I want to take you through something else. All right, hold on. I will do a dance party goal. Let's try to do the 15 again. We hit it yesterday. We'll see if we can get it. If not, we'll try something fucking shorter, but I think we can do it. All right, you ready? So here's what's a little weird, guys. All right, there it is. 1 hour, baby. You got it, Evil Eye. So what's weird about this, guys, is you know the camera from the parking lot? Okay, the camera from the parking lot that showed the guy running this way and jumping off the roof? Okay, this camera in the parking lot should be able to see him get up from the point of shooting. Okay? This camera, it sees the whole building. If you look at that camera, right? If you look at this footage right here, look at this. There's no reason this footage can't show him actually doing the shooting. Right? I mean, it shows the whole building. Why does it just show him like why aren't they showing the whole thing? Why aren't we seeing him down on the ground and picking up his rifle? It operates on motion detection? No, dude, the guy's like 100 yards away, right? No, the camera does not operate on motion detection. That's not, what are you talking about? It's not how security cameras work, okay? This camera goes around the clock. They start it with that person running, but it shows the whole fucking roof, bro. Dude, Amelia, let's go! Right? So the thing about this, though, is there's no reason we can't zoom in on everything he's doing over here, right? You know what I mean? Like, this is just weird. The fact that they didn't release the full footage. And the fact that what Candace was saying is that there is no way, okay? There is no way there is no way that this kid could have walked around on campus without being like photographed by multiple cameras. Okay? You know what I mean? There's just no way. But anyway, let's look at this video, which I thought was very intriguing, which is someone doing a breakdown of Candace Owens' discussion about this. Hold on, let me find it. Give me 1 sec here. Oh, it's in my Instagram folders. All right, give me 1 sec. Somebody sent it to me. Okay. All right, here we go. So I guess this is a fucking Instagram thing. Here we go. We're going to... Are you ready? All right, let's watch this.
Story today. I'm going to read it out to you guys.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Owens put on her story today. I'm going to read it out to you guys. She said, I want to break this news immediately because it feels important. And I think if I don't break it immediately, something bad might happen. I hope I have earned the trust enough of the people to believe me when I say that I have verified this information, but cannot reveal the source.
All right, so that's one of the first things that was on Candace's story was her saying that she's verified. Remember when we were looking at her stories that she has verified that this guy was never on UVU campus. I don't know how she did that. Again, she is a known grifter. So there's, you know, we're towing a line here. But simultaneously, while she's doing this, there are a lot of people that are producing other potential like situations of how Charlie Kirk may have died. And I saw something that was really interesting of a guy who thinks it was a inside hit, not even with a gun, But we're going to watch that look at that in a minute too.
Honestly, yeah, you have. And that's coming from someone that is definitely would not say that I align myself with her at all. Probably the exact opposite. But lately she's been making a lot of sense. And honestly, I think it lends her a lot of credence and credibility, the fact that she is speaking out against her own side. Because why would she do that? I also talked about this with a friend of mine because I was afraid that because they don't want certain information coming out, they don't want to go to trial, that we might find ourselves in another Epstein situation, right? Where this happens. Also, she thinks that apparently. She said Tyler Robinson is not 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗪. The entire narrative that was placed in the media about him having been that way is completely fictional, as are many other aspects of what we have been told. Now we're getting very interesting. His father having turned him in after a confession is also complete fiction. To the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence and has never been to the UVU campus. There are absolutely zero photos or videos on that campus that can produce to the contrary.
See, that's what's crazy about this, okay? Is there should be lots and lots of videos of this kid all over that campus, especially when they say he was there earlier that day, right? And you know what I mean?
And I spoke about this as well, because that grainy ass photo, I actually had specific people comment that have been or went to UVU.
Oops, sorry.
And they said with their knowledge of how that campus is set up and all the cameras that are there, there is no fucking way they did not have a better image if that was actually him. Just putting that out there. Which is why they have produced nothing other than a blurry image, which Tyler's family knows is not him. Interesting. Tyler has never once expressed a 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 thought. Now we're getting serious, because if this ends up, we will know that it was something nefarious. I want to make that clear. She's making this very, very clear. And we've also seen this with him not cooperating with the authorities. Like, he's not.
Dude, why are you freaking out? The way she's sitting on like a stool or a footstool or something in front of a green screen, and she's got one leg up, right? There should be no confusion about the way she's sitting. Why are you fixated on that? It's totally natural.
Not talking, he's not helping that because he probably didn't do it. So if this happens, it was not him, just to be very clear. The federal government is lying about absolutely everything, which I already fucking knew.
I mean, she's on a thing with no back or side, so she can move and show you the screen behind him. This is how, right? It's how you make content.
Other than the fact that it is his pew-pew. It makes me so fucking happy when people have critical thinking and a brain of their own. This just makes me like, because I know I was not the only fucking one going down these fucking rabbit holes. And I actually do trust Candace because she has inside fucking information.
Now, I don't trust Candace, okay? I do not trust Candace, okay? This is like what's problematic is I don't trust Candace.
She knows everyone at Turning Point. She knows everyone involved. She has her hands on the right side. She knows who to ask. She said, not that we needed further substantiation, but Tyler Robinson did not author those Discord messages. Thank God that someone actually fucking said it that knows in the know, because I already have called out how ridiculous those sound. I would like to again stress that he has never been to the UVU campus, but, and I need to confirm this later, I believe he was around the campus on that day because, you know, she found the video of him at the Dairy Queen, which was like a 17-minute drive, but around the time that he was supposed to be fleeing. I will have more on this later, but I wanted to immediately publish that the Tyler Robinson S side narrative plus the dad did the right thing after realizing his son was guilty, is a federal concoction.
Now, here's what I will say, though. I will say this, that Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, is fucking suspect. Dance party, New Zealand, let's go! Dude, she is suspect. She's doing the Charlie show every day. She is like smiling. She is a fucking weirdo. There's something about her that feels so fraudulent and fake, okay? TPUSA was having big time money issues. All right? They were having money issues. Okay? They fucking spent a lot of money on that campaign, and then pretty much, like, you know how Trump is. Trump is like, thank you for getting me elected. Now I don't really need you anymore. Right? You know what I'm saying? So dude, Erica Kirk is something about her doesn't add up. There were money issues, and Benjamin Netanyahu's been acting real fucking weird. Okay? You know what I mean?
Well, fucking well. We need to talk about what Candace Owens put on her story.
Okay, so there was that. There were a couple extra panels in there that I wanted included, but most of that was shit that we covered. Now, let me take you down another rabbit hole, though, really quick, guys. And this one is really unusual, okay? Because you know you've talked about people with the shots coming from behind and whatnot, but this one is stark. It is this. Let me find it. All right, hold on. 17-minute drive away. Yeah, well, 17, the Dairy Queen is 17 minutes from UVU, but it's like several hundred miles from where Tyler lived. Because Tyler lived all the way down by St. George, okay? Dude, Tyler, like, he lived a couple hundred miles away. Okay, now, let me show you this. Give me one sec here. Dude, I thought I bookmarked it. I fucking... Okay. Okay, hold on. Dude, did it get deleted? Dude, I think it may have gotten deleted. Oh, shit. All right. So that would explain why I'm not able to find it. Because I think whoever did it, it was like a 15 tweet thread. Dude, burning it down. Let's go. All remember that all white men are not fucking idiots. You're actually ashamed to be white. Keep head high and fight these little Nazi comrades. Dude, I feel you, boss. Right? Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Hold on. Yeah, I think this guy may have deleted this thread, which was like really, it was a very fucking like interesting thread that was about his Rode mic and about him believing that there was a charge set off in the mic that sent the clip of the mic into his neck. Okay? And it was a very detailed thread about Charlie's use of Rode mics and about the type of device that could be implanted in a battery, right? And what I'm seeing now is this whole fucking thing is gone. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. So here, I don't know if this is the exact one. But this is the exit wound theory. Okay. Now, this is not exactly it. But this is the exit wound theory, okay? So this is a pretty common one, okay? This is the idea. So there's a couple of theories. You put it in the Discord. What video did you put in the Discord? Let me see. Let's go. All right. So congrats, boss, on building this political brand up. 700 people in here. That's awesome. Definitely your game. Yes, dude. Absolutely, Crygo. Not Fortnite. Those days were fun, though. The pro days were fun. And thank you. Thank you very much, Crygo. Appreciate your membership. Glad you switched over, dude, from the Twitch. Okay, so let's look at a couple of theories here, guys. Okay, because there's a couple of theories. So now this one is that it's an exit wound, which would have put the shooter up somewhere up here off to the side, and it would have come down through his head and out his neck. Okay? This is the exit wound theory. But now the other theory I saw was a separate one, which was saying that they believe there was a small charge put in the battery of his Rode mic. Now, those of you who have seen the mic here that was attached to his shirt. So Charlie did two things. He had a mic that he spoke to that went through the PA to the crowd. Okay, but then he also had a Rode mic, like a lavalier mic, that was the recording they used for making the content. So they were recording a clean version of his audio to be used later in the mix when they're making videos, okay? And then he had the microphone, which allowed him to speak out and be heard in the space. But everything was recorded on that second mic as well, which is always common when you're doing a live show like that. Now, the theory that I saw on this tweet thread was that he believed there was a battery, yes, similar to the pager incident in the Middle East, right? There was this idea that there was an incendiary thing in the battery that would blow up, and then they fired a gunshot, okay, at the same time to like make it like a shooting. But the implication was that the clip had gotten shot through his neck, causing the rippling of his neck, and that the clip exited through that hole. Okay, it was like the clip exiting, which was, I don't know. I mean, it seemed a little far-fetched, because the rippling, though, guys, I talked about this the other day, about how the rippling of the neck is not necessarily because something went through the neck. The rippling is something that happens from shock waves, okay? That like a bullet piercing him or a bullet exit wound could cause the rippling in the neck. You don't necessarily need a bullet to travel through the neck to see the rippling of the neck. Now, again, though, a lot of these are tied into this whole Israel concept, okay? There's a lot of people that want to believe this was Israel, okay? Now, we have to be careful with this, guys, because there's no doubt that Netanyahu was behaving weird, and all of a sudden, oh, Charlie Kirk. But Netanyahu has been meeting with U.S. influencers, okay? Netanyahu has been meeting with U.S. influencers recently, okay? Because he realizes there's not a lot of support for Israel amongst young people in America. So Netanyahu has been trying to gain ground with young people, okay? They're trying to win over American young people by getting pro-Israel influencers to work with them. So, of course, with Charlie Kirk getting shot, Netanyahu, like, my first thought was, ooh, Netanyahu killed him, and he's just trying to be weird. But I think more like Netanyahu was really what he was doing is he was trying to take this opportunity to be a friend and supporter of Charlie Kirk to help in his like attempt to win over right-wing influencers in America, okay? That's what I think Netanyahu was doing. I don't actually think Netanyahu killed Charlie Kirk. I don't think Israel killed Charlie Kirk. There are a lot of people who wanted to be Israel and are implying it was Israel, and they're going to great lengths to pin this on Israel. Like, even somebody just sent me this video where the guy says Jewish peeps did it. It's fucking Stu Peters, dude. It's like, come on, I'm not watching a fucking Stu Peters video, dude, ever. Sorry. You know, I'm not going down that route. No offense to the person who sent it. I know you meant well. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and though I know, though, that I think Netanyahu is trying to capitalize on the death of Charlie Kirk, okay? He is. He's trying to capitalize it because, like, look at this, guys. Okay, you ready? Hold on, let me show you this, because this is crazy, guys. Dude, although I appreciate the video, I don't know who sent that. Don't think I'm mad at you, because I'm not. But look at this. Okay? I was watching this video right here. Okay? See, this, okay? This video was happening simultaneously, right? This was something that was set up like a while ago that just happened not too long ago.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, he's my first mentor in the space.
So Netanyahu's meeting with these right-wing influencers after Charlie Kirk died. Okay, so Netanyahu's like, oh, Charlie Kirk, we love Charlie Kirk. He was a friend of Israel. He's like kissing a little right-wing ass and trying to capitalize on this. And now he's having meetings with right-wing U.S. influencers trying to find pro-Israel people to like help him out and try to win over the American youth. Right? It is weird, guys. It is very, very weird.
Evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere.
So he's taking meetings, right? It's so creepy, dude. Okay? It is so fucking creepy, boss. He is so creepy. Look at him. Dude, he's so shifty. Now, and no, that is It is fucking Deborah Lee. Okay, there's a couple of influencers. The other one I saw was here. Let me find it. That's Deborah Lee, but there's also this person. See if I can find the other one. Dude, I went down a rabbit hole with this the other day. I think 𝗙𝗪𝗪 posted it. There's a woman who said, AIPAC. Oh, I know where it is. I replied. Does she always talk like that? Or there's another influencer who was there, which is a TikToker. Okay, yeah, dude, Twitter is a fucking... It is a jackhole, but it was this TikToker right here. Okay, this woman, all right? It's that opinionated girl, right? Totally creepy, dude. This chick, watch this.
Yesterday, I got the honor of meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu as part of a special focus group for Christian conservative Gen Zers, and we were essentially addressing the concerns that we had, right? There's clearly been...
Now, she's very weird because she talks the entire time without ever moving her mouth. I've just met Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, but watch this video because this video is so fucking creepy. Because she's like, I never open up my mouth, and I'm wearing a big-ass cross, and I'm going to tell you that AIPAC is actually not bad. AIPAC is really not very bad at all.
Been a growing divide. He wanted to know why. He wanted to know what Israel could be doing better. He wanted to understand where we were coming from, and to his credit, he did listen to us extremely attentively and took in a lot of what we were saying. And from our end, while of course we were polite and we were there also trying to form more unity, we were asking him the hard questions that a lot of people from our generation have been raising concerns about.
Yeah, sure they were.
For example, and the same way he listened to us and took in our criticisms, I'm truly hoping that you guys will listen to the answer. AIPAC. AIPAC is something that I see all the time. Number one, AIPAC...
Dude, she makes a video. She meets Netanyahu and comes back to make a video saying, you know, AIPAC is just a plain old lobbying group. They don't have anything to do with the government of Israel.
Is not an Israeli organization. It has no ties whatsoever to the government of Israel. It's not foreign lobbying. It's a lobbyist group that happens to be lobbying for a certain group of people, right? And this is not unique to Israel. There are multiple countries that do this, and there's multiple different groups that do this. For some reason, people just attach on to AIPAC, despite the fact that AIPAC makes up less than 5% of the lobbying. So if you have...
Dude, isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Dude, yeah, no one is buying this shit. Dude, this is crazy shit, boss. Okay, so now, to me, obviously, Netanyahu has used the death of Charlie Kirk as this crazy in, okay, to be like, I'm going to like start meeting with conservative Christian influencers and try to win back support of Israel, okay? Now, that doesn't make me think that Netanyahu had Charlie Kirk killed, okay? Believe me, guys, when I say Charlie Kirk being killed, Donald Trump and TPUSA benefit a lot more from Charlie Kirk dying than anybody else does. Okay? I think the Trump administration, the Heritage Foundation, benefits a lot more from Charlie Kirk being dead. And then, like, look at what has happened. Dude, Cajun, let's go. You're the best. You know what I'm saying? Look at what has happened since Charlie Kirk has died, with literally just the whole fucking, right? With the whole, like the religious revival. And like, oh, we need God more than ever. The left-wing radicals, like Epstein, who, like a lot of things have either been gone by the wayside, or, there has been, sorry, we got to refresh the chats, dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Jesus, the missing years, yes. No, I know. Yeah, I don't think there's a religious revival going on either, but it is the appearance of one. It is like a way for them to stir the troops as part of their religious war, because they know they're going to get their asses kicked in the midterms. But if they create a war against Christians, right? If they create a war against Christians where people are getting murdered, that's going to get everybody to turn out in 2026, right? What better way to get people to turn out than to, one for the goal, let's go bit flipper, right? There's no better way. Let's go. We're halfway to goal, guys. Halfway there and 26 minutes left. Let's get it. Oh, but yeah. So anyway, that pager story. But here is another one, which is the exit wound theory. Okay. Now the exit wound theory, all right, is saying that the hole we saw open up on Charlie was an exit wound, not the entrance. Okay. This video brings up a crucial point to take into consideration if the shooter was behind Charlie. Okay, Cash Patel brought up the possibility of 2 or more shooters. George Zinn was like, obviously he was creating some kind of diversion. Okay, then you have the idea that Tyler was on the roof and shot him with a 30-06 into that neck wound and killed him. Okay, now, there was no exit wound, though, which is weird, right? That's weird. I mean, if a bullet goes through the neck, I would expect an exit wound, right? There's video of Charlie's mic on the shirt that people thought was an explosive device sending that clip through his neck. Okay, that is a thought. There's shooters located behind Charlie where they see a flash consistent with a gunshot sound. Possible shooters located and seen on other building rooftops. Other possible shooter location behind Charlie near where the flash was caught and by a stairwell. Okay, video of a projectile caught in front of Charlie coming from the crowd, then seen past Charlie, which lines up in a perfect horizontal line for a moving projectile. Videos of security team possibly grabbing projectile or some sort of evidence on table in front of Charlie, passing something off to each other right after he was shot. Cameras were all taken down by Charlie's crew, including the one behind him. A man named Russell Kennington wearing scrubs and doctor's overcoat breaking into the Charlie crime scene specifically the Woodbury building, charged with trespassing. I don't know who that guy is. Weird Hollywood connection to the movie Snake Eyes. I'm not aware of what that is either. George Zinn was the guy who said, I killed him, shoot me, yada, yada, yada. But he's been at multiple sort of big scenes like that. No video of, this one is interesting. No video of Tyler Robinson taking the shot, being on the roof. That's what I talked about earlier, guys, which is this. We should have video, okay? There should be video of Tyler Robinson here on the roof taking that fucking shot, guys. Okay? This is where it happened. Right there. We should see him. We should have video of him walking out there and laying down, setting up. We should have video of him firing the shot, doing whatever he did, putting the gun away. Right? The video starts with him like right here. That's fucking weird, guys. Right? That is fucking very fucking strange, right? Range Day Bro has what? Has the video of Tyler shooting? Okay. And you know, original description of the shooter was all black tactical gear with mask and headgear. New witness description of shooter matched original sighting in black tactical gear. Said he saw him with a mask, reminded him of someone foreign, saw him sprint away, considered him young, saw a weapon. Said it was not the gun FBI claimed, but smaller, maybe a .223 caliber, the gun being a Hornady VMAX or similar. Let's see what that is. That's, what is that? That is the fucking ammunition that they're talking about? And the gun. So that's like a smaller bullet? But what kind of gun would it be? Right? Because now he's talking about the fucking ammo. Right? That's not a gun. That is ammo that he's talking about. Oh, I get it. But now a smaller caliber bullet is definitely more believable. You know what I mean? Right? Videos of random person with police badge on shirt and takes it off as soon as he realizes he's on camera. There's Hunter Kozak, who asked Charlie the last Q question about trans shooters, is also part of a far left group tied to Destiny, who goes to TPUSA events to harass members. See, dude, this is stupid. This person, it's a leftist setup. Dude, that's so dumb. Dude, there's nobody. I mean, I get it. There are people that are plants there that try to ask Charlie questions so he has to trip over his own transphobia and shit. But they were not in on fucking killing him. Okay? Right? And they're trying to talk about his trans roommate, which or we don't even know if Twigs is trans. That is still iffy. Yeah, I'm not really buying that it was a 30-06. Like, I feel like a 30-06 would have been, his neck would have been gone, guys. Right? Like a 30-06 would have just blown out that whole neck. Right? Yeah, no, we're going to watch the clip of the dude jumping over the table. All right, ballistics show a human neck would not stop a 30-06. Also backed by multiple real-world snipers and hunters, a 30-06 will shatter elk bone at 500 yards. It goes through steel plates, right? A 30-06, is like, can literally, a 30-06 would like shatter your fucking breastbone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not going to make a pinhole necessarily. Okay? No gun seen in Tyler's pants. UVU safe house located next to where Tyler's alleged rifle was found by the FBI. That's weird. Okay? Yeah, Natalie, we'll save that clip. All right, hold on to that clip. I'm going to grab that in a minute. All right? So now I've seen some of this where there's claims that there's a little blood and that the bullet maybe came out that thing. Now, again, though, this feels like a smaller caliber bullet, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like a smaller caliber bullet? Okay. Now, see, this is what's hard, though, okay? Is what's hard about this, guys, is like, if you look at this from this side, there's clearly no bullet entering his body over here, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's hard about this. There's no bullet entering here. Like, even if it was a small caliber bullet, okay, even if it was a small caliber bullet, if something hit him back here, like this video is suggesting, you would see it in this video, right? You know what I'm saying? You would see it. I mean, you see his earpiece fly out of his ear. But here's what else is hard, though, guys. What else is hard about this is all of these videos are like somewhat unreliable, okay? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they're grainy, they're like low res. We don't know how many of these are being doctored with AI, with this, that, or the other. There is some shit that goes on here. There is some shit that goes on here with his fucking, right, with his shirt, okay? Now, they're suggesting that a bullet hit the chain and ricocheted, but, like, dude, I don't know about, like, a bullet's not going to hit a necklace and fucking bounce off a necklace. Now, there are some rumors that maybe, right, there are some rumors. I don't know what this is trying to show here. This is like, it's trying to say that that's a bullet. But dude, if a bullet hit his shirt, the shirt would have been ripped. Okay? There is no possibility that a bullet hit that shirt, because bullets rip shirts. Okay? They do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Now, you know, and yes, the thing that is crazy is when you get shot, there's shock waves, okay? There are shock waves from a projectile. Yeah, no, the theory about the clip is that there was an explosive device in his Rode microphone battery that exploded and sent a piece of some type of shrapnel through him, okay? But again, right? Oh, this is the guy. No, this is the one, dude. This is exactly it. You ready? Look, this was the one I was looking for. This is John Bray's theory. We're going to look at that in a minute. This one is really interesting, guys. Okay? This theory, let me just tell you, this was the one. I couldn't find it. I could not find it, but it was in this tweet. Okay? So they're suggesting that there was a tiny gun or a tiny weaponized projectile in that Rode mic bit, okay? Okay, inside the battery of his Rode mic, and that it sent a bullet through his body under the shirt that then exited through the neck, okay? That something fired from inside that mic through him and ricocheted out his neck, okay? Now, that would explain why there's no hole inside his shirt if it was a small projectile, right? And that could also explain the rippling of the neck. But a small caliber round going into the neck could also fucking, right? A small caliber round going into the neck slightly from this angle could then ricochet inside the body and also cause all those ripples. So, I mean, there's a lot of possibility here. Okay. There's a lot of different fucking, right? There's a lot of different, I don't know, a lot of different ways to conspiracy theory this thing. Okay. But this earpiece definitely did fly out of his ear. Okay. And so, but let's look at the John Bray one. Okay. And yeah, I don't really find a 30-06 bullet being very accurate. I don't. Now, can we look at this real quick? Because look at this. Okay. This is so Charlie gets shot. Right? There's the shot. And they push him down immediately. Now, makes sense though. Right? Because like that's his security footage. Hold on though, let me find I had something else queued up here. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, you ready? Let's watch this one. Let's watch this one, okay? This is interesting. Okay, this guy jumps forward. See, I don't know what this is looking at, though, because he looks like he's pulling his fucking... He looks like he's pulling his phone out, guys. He looks like he grabs his phone out of the back pocket or his keys or something. You know what I mean? Right? He grabs something out of his fucking back pocket. See, I think he grabs his keys or something. I thought he grabbed something out of his pocket, like he realized Charlie was down and he fucking went and was getting his keys and maybe going to fucking start the car. Yeah, if he's running to get the car started, you know what I mean? That is totally believable. See, he didn't grab anything. He's grabbing like keys or something out of his back pocket. Yeah, I'm not seeing him grab anything from the table there. Yeah, I see. I'm reading that very different because it didn't look like anything was handed off. It looked like he was grabbing keys or something. It looked like he was pulling something out of his back pocket. And he's running to go get that car started because they realized they got to get Charlie to the hospital like ASAP, right? You know what I mean? I didn't see any fucking like that thing, you know, because it all happened so fast, right? All this slow motion shit is nonsensical, right? I mean, look at this guy. He's not grabbing anything off the table. He jumps off. He reaches in, he grabs his keys. That guy comes up and he's like, get out of my way. And he goes running I think he's going and running to fucking start the car, dude. Right? Grab something and run? I don't know. Yeah, see this person here, dude, this person is adding a lot of shit, bro. Right? Dude, this is completely unreliable. It's like some guy at full speed grabs something out of his pocket and he's like, no. He grabbed something off the table while sliding across the table. He put it in his back pocket. Then he hands it off to somebody else. He's definitely fomenting some bullshit. All right. This is the same one. Yeah, because this guy doesn't have anything in his hands after that. Okay, but see, here's the thing though, guys. Is this a trustable video? Because look at this, okay? Look at this account, guys. Yeah, but Natalie, look at this account. 𝗙𝗏𝗟𝗏, like, you know what I mean? Like, this account is saying it's a Mossad hit, but like, dude, does this account, like, who is this? This account is not a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, let's see if we have other footage. Let me see if I can find something here. Hold on. I want to do it off stream. Let me find some images here. Because we don't even know that that's a real video. All right? Because what's crazy about this, guys, is I specifically, right? I specifically have looked for this camera angle and have not found like a good amount of video from this camera angle. And why tackle Charlie to the ground? Well, Charlie fell. And the first thing you do, Kanga, when somebody gets shot is you get them on the ground and you cover them up. That's what security are trained to do, right? You get them as low to the ground as possible and then you get on top of them, right? That's what security is paid to do. But the thing that's problematic about this is I don't know if this is an actual realistic video, guys. I don't know if this is a real video. Okay? Hold on one sec here. because I've not been able to find video from this angle. In all my searching, I've looked for the many different angles of video footage of Charlie Kirk, and this is like a brand new angle that I've never seen that has a guy right there just pushing a button, you know, and this guy saying it was an inside Mossad hit, you know, which is like, I don't know, dude. Right? You know what I mean? I don't even know if this is an accurate video. Like, hold on one sec here. Let me just find something. All right, let me see here. Hold on. Dude, there was some footage after he fucking died that showed the people from behind. All right, because this guy... on here. No, I'm not. I'm searching on YouTube. Like, I'm searching for a wide angle shot. Okay? Because look, here's what I'm searching for, right? Is look, we have a wide angle shot. All right, which is if we're looking at this shot where this guy is claiming this dude here, right? That this guy like clicked something. This is the claim. That having that guy is ostensibly over here somewhere. So I'm trying to find a wide angle shot. Not it. See, I want to see something that shows that area. Because, like, you ready for this, guys? Try searching on X. Well, no, I don't want to search on X, Bradshaw, because I don't find a lot of the video on X to be reliable. All right. Much of the video, if there's video on X, if there's video on Twitter that you're not finding on YouTube, that makes it super suspect, because most of the shit on Twitter is fake AI generated shit coming from foreign bot accounts. You know what I mean? And the thing about this is how unreliable this is. Like, for example, if there's a guy from Mossad that is going to detonate and kill Charlie Kirk from some hand detonated device, he's not going to be in the front fucking row. Like, why would he do that? He could be literally sitting in a building, you know, like right above him in the glass fucking thing. He wouldn't be standing out in the open with cameras pointing at him from every direction, clicking a button right out in the open. He'd have his hand in his goddamn pocket. You think Mossad would be this sloppy? Like, come on, bro. These guys fucking pulled off those pager killings, and they are like hardcore, like seasoned assassins. They're not going to click a button, not even in their pocket. Like, you would literally do it like this. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. This is so like no seasoned, you know, this guy started being an assassin like 12 minutes before he did this job. Like, come on, man. It's not believable at all, dude. Dude. And there's like one video of it that this 𝗙𝗟𝗏 has that nowhere else on the internet can I find this video. It's like, dude, this is bullshit, bro. And look at this. How many fingers does this person have over here? Like, what is that hand, bro? That hand's got like 4 fingers on each end? Dude, this is like the most AI, like, look at this hand, bro. There's like, what is her arm doing? I'm not buying it. Dude, I'm not buying that video. Right? I mean, this video is like, where's this clip from? You know, where's the source of this clip? And they keep having this picture, right? But, dude, there's a guy in like military fatigues or whatever, like clicking the button right out in the open. I'm going to stand right in front of the mark and push a button, right? I mean, you expect the guy to come out and pull out an antenna and like look around and just push the red button and he dies. Dude, I mean, I guess I'm not buying that shit, bro. Right? I'm not really buying that. That it just feels a little too fucking set up, bro. Right? And these guys are saying, oh, a palm pistol. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't find that camera angle footage anywhere, dude. Right? And this is like, this doesn't really look, it just doesn't look like the fucking, I don't think this is a real video, right? I don't think this is a real accurate video. It says rents.com. Oh, this one? Is that what this thing is? Oh, rents.com. Yeah. Dude, there's no way this is fake, dude. This is a fake video. This is 100%. Now, there are a lot of like suspect things though that went on, right? Okay, so here's the video, I think. You ready? Okay, so here's the video. I found a larger version of this video. So here it is. This is the guy. We're focusing on this guy right there. And then he jumps over and he comes around. Oh, I see what it is. Now they're saying, though, that this guy is the dude that, I guess what they're saying is that that guy is this dude right here. They're saying that that guy was this dude. Okay? Right? That guy was this dude. But I don't know that this is a real video. Because this is the one with the chair that goes through the table, right? See this chair? Watch this chair. It goes like through the table. See the chair going through the fucking table? It's being fucking used by RT though. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know about that. He had a palm pistol. Yeah, I don't know about that either. But let's look at the Josh Bray. Okay, because the Josh Bray one, John Bray, let's look at the John Bray. Yeah, the you're not buying the guy handing off. I don't think he was handing off car keys. I didn't see the guy who jumped over the table hand off anything. To me, it looked like he grabbed something out of his back pocket and then he went running. I did not see a handoff in there, and it was all so fast. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see a handoff in there at all. And I certainly know that when you detonate devices like that, you're not going to stand right in front of the person. There's no reason to. That shit is like, you know, it's not the 1930s. You know what I'm saying? But so I thought this was interesting though, right here. This guy said, based solely on the analysis of the two angles of the events on September 10th, I have come to the conclusion that this is the object that struck Charlie Kirk in the neck. Okay? And it is the DJI Mic 2 is a wireless microphone with a rectangular magnetic clasp. This device has a 300 milliamp battery that weighs 8 grams. Okay? On that day, Charlie had the microphone mounted with the bulk of the device under his shirt. Notice the magnetic clasp on it and the angle with which it rests. And so it's like this, but he had it under the shirt. And it wasn't just on the lapel, okay? It was like under the shirt itself, okay? Now, he says this is the battery, okay? It's an 8-gram battery that's unique in that it's very easy to swap, okay? A 2-gram charge of PETN would match the power of a 30-06 and leave 75% of the battery functional and undetectable. So they're saying that there's like a charge that was in this thing that was in the battery, but the battery still functioned, okay? He said you can see the shock waves travel from this outward, okay? His neck and ears quake. The earpiece flies up, okay? His earpiece flies up, and his body is slightly lifted from the thing. Now he's saying here the shirt deformation shows a directed blast across his chest. But the problem I'm having, guys, is that if there was a projectile in this thing, or if there was some incendiary device on his body, I feel like the shirt would have shown something. Okay, this is a white t-shirt, guys. If there had been a if there had been a if there had been a I don't know, a charge in that like microphone, it would have left some kind of like brown mark or black mark, right? There would have been some marker on a white shirt. You know what I'm saying? If you lit a match under that shirt, you would notice it on that shirt. So if there was an incendiary device that went off in that microphone, there would be a black mark on that shirt. There would be a burn mark somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, this guy is showing the shirt there, right? And he's saying that it started from this mark. But again, if something hit Charlie in the neck there, okay, if something hit Charlie in the neck here, it would cause ripples in the whole body, okay? You know what I'm saying? Much like an earthquake. When an earthquake happens, you see the road actually ripple, and then it goes back to normal. It doesn't break, it doesn't crack, but if you see an earthquake from the release of energy, the road actually looks like a wave, and then it just goes back to being normal and undisturbed flat. Okay? And so, like, if something really fast hit the neck, it could definitely cause a ripple, okay, in the fucking rest of the body. But again, the 30-06 feels like not very realistic because I feel like the neck would have been gone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But anyway, this guy says, as the shockwave travels across his body, the magnetic clasp is flung across his body, and in just a few frames, it disappears into his neck. So what he's saying is he's saying the clasp hit him in the neck from that battery, okay? Because this right here, he said, for all the things shown in multiple camera angles, there's no blood splatter, okay? And guys, that is like something to attend with. Like, if you know anybody who's ever been a detective, or if you've ever talked to a detective, there's blood splatter always, okay? From a high impact velocity shot, there's a blood splatter, okay? That happens when something, right? It just happens. There, you know, if a bullet goes into your body, blood projects both from an exit, if there's an exit, but even from an interior, it projects. And you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I see blood pour out of his neck, but I didn't see any spatter, okay? So this guy is implying that that this clip flew off and hit him in the neck. You know what I mean? But now they're saying that he had an earpiece, and this is the guy that they're talking about this guy, right? They're saying this guy clipped something. But again, I've not seen that, like, that footage, this footage from behind. I've not seen this anywhere. Right? And I can't seem to find this footage anywhere, this angle. Yeah, and we'll have to watch that peak prosperity guy. I definitely will watch that. Maybe we'll watch it tomorrow. Maybe this week we'll just do a series on this. Okay? But the thing that's really driving me crazy, guys, is that I'm not seeing this footage that they keep using in these, you know, Mossad hit like things. I'm not seeing this footage anywhere. Right? Like I'm not seeing it uploaded on YouTube anywhere. Right? But I'm seeing the same snippet of footage being used on Twitter. But yeah, we will fucking, we're going to look into this more. I'm going to do a more exhaustive search, like not on stream, to try and find this video or find the source copy of this video. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have to be discerning, guys, because the thing that's really hard for me about this is that, like, here's what's hard about it. And I'm going to finish with this before we move on. I want to talk about that LDS thing, okay, and the guy who shot up that church. But here's the problem I have and why we need to be very discerning. Because A lot of people want it to be Israel, okay? They want it to be Israel, okay? Israel is like, there's a large portion. Oh shit, we didn't make the goal. All right, let's try one more. We'll try to get our we'll do a 10 this time. I forgot. I got lost. We'll just do a 10 and we'll do it for 30 minutes and see if we can fucking hit that. Get a dance party. All right. So anyway, so the thing that's hard about these people with Mossad hits, okay, is that there's a large group of people that want it to be Mossad. So they're like reaching for anything they can to create a theory of Mossad. 2, they all seem to be gathering around one bit of video that shows a very obvious detonation, but I can't find this video sourced anywhere, and nobody is providing a link to the source of this video. And then there's like that guy jumping over the table. They're doing a lot of slow motion, making it seem like this handoff happens. But when you watch it at full speed, you realize no handoff happened there. They're like, with slow motion, they're trying to make it seem like a lot more has happened in the space of like where there's not time for all of that to happen. Okay. So all of that added together makes me very skeptical of this, because if it was Mossad, I feel like you would never know it was Mossad. You know what I'm saying? Like, they certainly wouldn't have one of their guys stand in the front row right in front of fucking cameras pushing a button, because they're not that fucking stupid, okay? You know what I mean? Like, that is the thing that is really like, oh yeah, you're trying to say this is a high-level professional hit, but the behavior they're doing is like a first grader's, right? Right? You know what I mean? You know? I mean, it's not like 𝗙ście𝗶𝗹𝗆 writing on the bullets in his fucking ballpoint pen, bro. Yeah, well, I know they keep saying Mossad is known for neck shots, and Mossad is obviously known for blowing people up with pagers and shit like that, and they do some crazy shit. But this just feels completely fucking dumb. You know, well, yeah, but the quartering dude is probably like Jeremy from the quartering. I'm sure he has a healthy dose of LGBTQ porn in his incognito internet browser. So that guy's just on a mission, right? But we're going to look at some of this, and we're going to look at some of those ballistics guys, and we're going to look, because I'm intrigued by the possibility that you know, it seems like maybe it was a small caliber bullet, but I definitely don't think it came from behind him, because we would see some sort of entry wound if it came on here. And a lot of this shit is just feels pretty sus, and it's all being passed along by weird accounts that we don't even know where these accounts are coming from, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know who these guys are, right? You know, like, I don't know, a lot of these weird anonymous accounts, there's a lot of fake shit, okay, going on, right? And this guy's saying, you know, the modified mic being discreetly handed off. This guy's adding way more into this. Dude, Vetter, let's go. Dude, thank you, Vetter Girl. Appreciate you. Dude, you guys are so great. Dude, we got Vetter Girl and we got fucking David Nathaniel. Let's go. Dude, you're the best, Tommy. Thank you for your excellent reporting and great energy. I appreciate that. Dude, where's the rapture at? Dude, the rapture happened. It's just all the evangelicals are still here because they're all going to hell, right? Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh. Dude. Dude, you love being in our house? Let's go. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We get a Trumpy for that. Let's go, Trumpy. Fucking shitter. Oh. Dude, Trumpy. All right, we're on one, guys. All right, so we have, just so you know, 25 minutes, 8 more, we dance. So, dude, yeah, no, the rapture happened. Just all the evangelicals are going to hell. So they're still here. Right? That's what it is. I'm convinced it happened, and they're all just going to burn. So, whoopsie. Whoopsie. Dude, let's go. You live for my show when you have to leave in your 2.5-hour drive. Amazing. All right. But now, dude, let's talk about this guy at the LDS church. Okay? And we are going to look at some of Candace Owens shit too, because she is going crazy. Okay? She's going crazy. Again, though, this guy does not feel like Tyler Robinson. This guy. I don't think this guy is Tyler Robinson, right? I know there's the Chucks, but like I've watched a lot of videos of Tyler Robinson, right? And dude, thank you, human. Appreciate you, boss. Right? I mean, we watched the video not too long ago, this one, right? Hold on. It is this one. From him getting in that accident, right? Right? It was this video right here. Okay? This is a video where we watched him talk and we watched him speak and shit. And you see, like, one of the things you notice about Tyler is his, I don't know, man, his sort of like his general posture. You see it here too. Shoulders back. You see that? It's like a shoulder blades together. It's like a pinned posture. You see it in his photos. You see it in, right? You see it in the video that I show where all through this video when he's talking to the cops, his shoulders pinned, man. He's like a scooped back shoulders guy, okay? And even in his just casual standing, he's always got his shoulders pinned, okay? And then you look at the stairwell photo, and I don't know, dude. This person looks like the shoulders are curved forward. It's like, and I don't know. The ears look a little different. I mean, obviously it's hard to tell. There's not a good angle. Whoever this was like not looking. you know what I mean? Not looking at the camera, being very careful to avoid being seen. But there's something about the posture here that looked a little bit different. Could be backpack. But I mean, the thing about it is, though, is if you have a backpack on, you're a pin shoulder guy, I don't know if you would go forward, right? You know what I mean? And yeah, this guy also does seem to have a little bit like more of an olive skin or something. Whereas like if you look at the Tyler Robinson, I mean, I don't know. It's a little hard to gauge, right? But definitely we don't really see, I'd like to see the lips. The lips are sort of a dead giveaway. He's got a really like thick bottom lip that is super distinctive, right? If you look in the video, he's got a super distinctive, like, I don't know, almost like it's like the lip of somebody who chews tobacco, right? Have you seen tobacco chewers? How like they I don't know, man. I think he's a tobacco chewer, right? He's got a real, yeah, it's like puckered and fucking, you know, I don't know, it's pretty distinctive, but I mean, again, though, this video is a down angle. This video is a high angle, but this video is a high angle, right? And, you know, I don't know, man. I'm not sold. I feel like the something about that, you know. Thing is, there's enough evidence to prove he's the shooter. Well, I don't know about that, Charlie Reed. And in particular, though, it's that video, boss. Because here's the deal, bro. You ready? The deal is this. Is if he is the shooter, the entire shooting is visible on this fucking camera. And that's what I don't understand. Is they say they have his DNA from this corner, but if he is the shooter, the entire video of him walking out under the roof, getting down on his belly, setting up his gun, firing the shot, packing up the gun, and then getting up and running, all of that is captured on this fucking camera. And why wouldn't they release that? Why have they released just a snippet at 12:23 of this person running across the roof? Where is all the other shit? That's weird, man. You know what I'm saying? But they would have him the entirety of the shooting. They would have him walking out there. They would have him laying down and firing. They would have him like fixing his shit and getting up and packing his shit and running across the building. The entire fucking shooting should be, right? Should be on this camera. Like they should show this camera from like 12:10 straight through. So if right, they have that footage. And now maybe they're saving it for trial, you know, but we'll see. Like if that footage doesn't come out and we don't see that, I mean, I feel like I need to see that footage, you know? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's talk about the LDS thing. What do we know about this LDS shooting? Okay. I'm guessing this guy's a right winger. So let's go. The LDS church shooter Thomas Jacob Sanford and his entire family aren't just Trump supporters. They are hardcore MAGA conspiracy lunatics. Okay? And what do we have, dude? Yeah, they have fucking masks. They have fucking, right? They have Jesse Waters. 4 common causes of headaches, arguing with leftists, of course, sharing TPUSA content, right? Oh, shit. Dude, they're Trumpies. Dude. We're not going to be peaceful much longer, of course. Stay away from the vaccine. Dude, there's Trump. God bless our amazing president, President Trump. Thank you for all you satisfied. Right? There's more Trump Vance. Dude, they are hardcore, dude. Oh my God. They have vaccines. Look at this. My body, my choice. This is true. Dude, oh shit. The aborted fetus vaccine tissue. Oh Lord, dude. Oh shit, bro. I was thinking the same thing, guys. I was thinking the Charlie Kirk revenge. I mean, think about it. Charlie Kirk gets killed by a Mormon. Okay, now there's an LDS like attack. Of course, it's a Charlie Kirk freak. This guy was spreading TPUSA stuff, right? He's taking the message from Erica that we're at war. We need retribution. This is like dangerous shit. This is why Erica Kirk's whole performance, I love you, I love you, right? With her fucking humping the body in the coffin and shit, was like way out of line, bro. Like way out of fucking line, dude. Yeah, just, I absolutely, the minute I found out it was a Mormon church, I was like, dude, this is a TPUSA revenge killing. 100%, man. Oh my God, dude. These people are like, is that him? That's him. That's the guy. Dude, Jesus, dude. He looks like, you know what I mean? Why didn't the president comment? Well, yeah, we know why the president didn't comment. Dude, the president doesn't comment at all when it is a right-wing shooter, okay? He hasn't talked about Desmond Holley. He doesn't mention it. The only time the president comments is if it is somebody that they're saying is a leftist, even if it's not a leftist. If they have a narrative or they can get away with a narrative of him being a leftist, then he will talk about it. But dude, he did his whole thing about violence in that presidential memorandum. We read it yesterday, the one that said we're going to investigate all the terrorists, domestic terror groups. But he did not mention a single bit of right-wing violence. Everything written in the presidential memorandum was this shit that they were trying to blame on leftists. That's it. He is a one-trick pony of trying to create a Democrats are bad, let's arrest them and put them in jail. That's his whole thing, dude. He is trying to put all of the fucking Democrats or whomever he can in jail as vindictiveness for him being punished for his fucking crimes. You know? Oh shit, dude. They are wearing I am Charlie Kirk bracelets. Dude, I'm sorry. If you're Charlie Kirk, that means you're dead. Okay? So, like, shut the fuck up with this you are Charlie Kirk. Unless you're trying to die, you know? Like, what are you doing? You're not Charlie Kirk. Jesus, bro. This guy, this is crazy, bro. So there he is. The LDS Mormon Church terrorist shooter Thomas Jacob Sanford, confirmed to be from a hardcore MAGA and Charlie Kirk fanatic family. Of course, an investigation is needed to verify if Trump's recent violent rhetoric against U.S. civilians triggered the attack or altered the shooter's mental state. Now, guys, I said this, period, earlier today, dude, and I stand by what I said right here. You ready? It's right here, guys. 100% this, okay? It says, y'all notice how 8 months of Trump, and there have been multiple political and influencer assassinations, brutal school shootings, other random acts of violence happening like every day. Dude, we've had 4 shootings, 4 mass shooting events in like 36 hours. Okay, Trump brings violence. Lots of it. Him and his terrible leadership, his constant rhetoric. He spouts violence and divisiveness. He behaves like a petty and weak dictator, targets half the country openly, and he gives energy and an excuse to every wacko out there to follow suit and to behave as recklessly and as vindictively and as openly hateful as Trump does. This is all on Trump 100%. Okay, he is out there constantly like the enemy within. We're going to attack. We're attacking everybody. We're going to throw the book at you. We're coming after you. Sending the military into cities. You say something bad about us, we're going to fucking run you into the ground. He is creating a center of vindictive payback, retribution. If you're not us, you're the enemy, and the enemy we're at war with. He creates that. I mean, they changed it to the Secretary of fucking War, for Christ's sake. Like, why the fuck? That's so unnecessary, the Secretary of War. It's fucking stupid, but they want war. They want this shit. They want war on the streets. They want this shit so then they can try to, like, you know, be more fascist, exercise more control. But, dude, this guy is like the type of person who is, you can tell, dude, he's not happy. He's not feeling too fucking good on himself. You know, if he's a veteran, he probably has some PTSD in operation. He's got some shit going on, man, that, like, you know, Trump's rhetoric and Erica Kirk getting on there being all broken up that, oh, these guys did it. And he's like, yeah, it was the Mormons. And off he did. What was Trump's comment, though, was bullshit, dude. Trump's comment was like, oh, right, I've been briefed on the horrendous shooting that took place. The FBI was immediately on scene, will be leading the investigation, providing full support. Suspect is dead, but there's still a lot to learn. This appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians in the U.S., so his comment is to wrap it into the whole, they're targeting the Christians. Okay, this epidemic of violence in our country must end. But he couldn't call it left-wing violence, but he's not going to acknowledge that it was right-wing violence. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's fucking, that shit is pretty fucking wild, bro. You know? You know what I'm saying? That is like, I mean, epidemic of violence, but you know later they're all going to talk about left wing, even though this guy is like right wing as fuck, bro. We all knew it was stupid for J.D. Vance and other Republican leaders to claim that violence only comes from the left. We didn't have to wait long to be proven right. Okay, so what did he do, dude? He drove his truck. I mean, as soon as I saw this truck, I knew that this guy was a right winger, right? As soon as I saw the truck, guys, what's up? We got 9 minutes, baby. We need 7 more. Let's get that dance party. Dude, I knew he was a right winger. Okay, I did. I mean, obviously the multiple American flags, like, it's pretty crazy that this guy was not a leftist, you know? But so he drives his truck into the building. Dude, that is insane. There's his truck, right? God, these guys are hardcore. Former Marine, deep Trump supporter. Was this guy a Mormon too? No, this guy was not a Mormon. This guy was a hardcore Trumpy, MAGA, TPUSA guy. I believe he was getting revenge for the killing on Charlie Kirk, right? Bunch of crosses. The Lord's Prayer. Look at a lot of crosses, dude. What is this guy here?
Hello, everyone. I'm talking to Chris right now, and you contacted me a short time ago. Pretty distraught because actually, earlier today, you came to the realization that you say that you talked to the person who did this horrible thing in Grambling Township?
I did last week. It was Wednesday or Thursday. I'm running for city council and I'm canvassing, and I had an address on my map that I went to, and I came across a gentleman. He was very friendly, and he had interacted positively with me, and we got out of the vehicle. We started just to talk, and after a short while, the conversation went to the Church of Latter-day Saints, Mormonism, and he just made the position multiple times that Mormons are the Antichrist. And he, in not so many terms, said that several times. He gave me his background, but I just walked away from a person who had some very sharp views about Mormons.
Yeah, so you were just out.
Yeah, now here's the problem, guys. Okay? So here's the problem. If you have somebody like that, who's a devout, Trumpy, MAGA Christian, thinks Mormons are the Antichrist, Erica Kirk is talking about evil, right? The evil, right? They're evil. The people, they keep saying they who shot Charlie Kirk. Now, this guy, all he has to do is get in his head that those Mormons that he thinks are the Antichrist are the ones fucking, behind the Charlie Kirk shooting, and they're the evil that needs to be eradicated. And then he's off to the races, and this is why that rhetoric of calling people evil and demons and all that shit is so dangerous, because it's totally okay to talk about people grappling with mental illness, and to be grappling with fucking delusions or schizophrenia or whatever they're grappling with, having rage issues and being radicalized. But when you start throwing around the word evil and the word demons and shit, now you're dehumanizing them to the point of where, like, of course a demon should be vanquished, right? Because they're not even human. If you're a demon, or if you're evil, you sort of cease to be human. Okay? And that's why that type of rhetoric about evil and demons and all this shit is super dangerous, because it's super dehumanizing. And I don't like that religious rhetoric. I never have, because, people, this kind of shit, like regular good people can get radicalized and have really bad shit happen and go off and fucking make bad decisions, And the thing, though, that's crazy about this is I don't really get the Mormon hate. I mean, Mormons are a little weird, but I don't know, man. I spent a lot of time in Utah, and I played a lot of shows in Utah. My band had a pretty significant following there. There's a guy from Provo, which is right next to Orem, where Charlie Kirk was shot. And they're quirky, but, like, dude, they've never, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've never, I don't know, I never experienced Mormons to be anti the other religions. And they certainly never preached to me as much as evangelical Christians did. They're much more like, just content with their own world. And they're more about, like, just wanting to be left alone. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't think they're, like, necessarily great people, because they have all kinds of issues with SA and corruption and all that, like everybody does. But the general population of Mormons are not very pushy with their religion. They're not religion pushers, in as much as they're devout and they have their own shit, but they don't push it. And I mean, it's really interesting, because my experience of, like, Mormons and Jewish people and Christians and Muslims, the only group I've seen push religion of, like, hey, you need to conform to our religion, are the Christians. You know what I mean? Like Jews don't try to make you Jewish, right? Mormons don't try to make you Mormon. I've never seen Muslims trying to make you Muslim, but it's the Christians. Dude, we got 3 minutes, guys. We need 6 more, boss, for a dance party. Oh shit, 3 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, and again, I think all religion is toxic, okay? But I've just not seen Mormons be pushy. They're more like, just leave me alone and let me do my shit. And you probably don't like our religion anyway. You know, the only thing that ever happened to me is I would stay at my friend Drew's house in Provo, and he would give me a Book of Mormon every time. He wouldn't say, read it. He wouldn't say, you need to do this. His duty was simply, every time I stayed in his house, the price of staying in his house was he would give me a Book of Mormon. So eventually I had like 10 of them, right? And he would just, it was just a silent gesture that he did. He never said anything to me about the religion. He's just like, here's a parting gift for you, right? This is a gift that anyone who stays here, I give them this gift. And that was it, you know? You know what I mean? Dude, and you know, I mean, it gets even crazier down in the FLDS, right? The guys down in the South, like Washington County. But they're, again, they just want to be left alone, okay? All right, 1:35. Dude, let's go. We got 5 more. Can we do it? 5 more in 1.5 minutes. Oh, shit. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? Dude, I've never seen them as pushy as, do we need 4 more? Oh, shit, 4 more. Let's go, dude. 1 minute. Oh. Oh, shit. Here we go. We're going to count it down. 59, 58, 3 more. 55, 54, 50. Oh, shit. 3 more, baby. Oh, shit. 42. 2 more. Oh, man. 38 seconds. 1 more. Down to the last 30 seconds. There it is. Oh. Oh, shit. At the wire, dude. Oh, my God. They're all coming through at the wire, dude. Everybody. Dude, dance, magic, dance. Let's go. Oh, we did it, baby. Let's go. Oh, for the dance. And you don't have any more, sir. Thank you, Grandma. Dude, woke Grandma. Let's go dance party from Steph. Big said, come on, guys. Let's reach the goal. Dude, we did it. Dude, that's crazy, bro. Oh, my God. All right, so perfect. After we cover this LDS guy, we're going to dance in like 10 minutes. It was the countdown, dude. Yeah, nothing motivates for you. Yeah, well, dude, yeah, no, Amicat, they're, like, again, like every religion, Mormons have the same cult-like behavior. They have corrupt leaders, because the leaders in all of these religions have too much power, right? When you get deified, you have too much power. That shit corrupts people. But I don't know, man. I feel like the you know, the Mormon, the kid being from a Mormon family, Charlie Kirk, and the constant use of they, right? Everybody, they killed Charlie Kirk. They killed Charlie Kirk. It's real easy for somebody who is mentally unstable, like an ex-Marine MAGA shithead, obsessed with Trump and TPUSA, that's sad that Charlie Kirk died, and Erica Kirk's telling them that, like, you have no idea what you unleashed. And Trump is like, it was the leftists, it was, you know, the LDS or whatever. People, they just get shit in their heads.
Campaigning for the election in November coming up, I'm assuming.
That is correct.
And so you're just shaking hands, looking to meet people. You come across his door. Have you matched it up? Is it the address the same as this person? Have you looked?
It is, yes. I mean, it is not only the address, but it's also the person that I spoke with.
So this is crazy. This guy here, Chris Johns, is running for city council, and he was out campaigning and going door to door talking to people. Ended up talking to this guy. And the guy's like, yeah, the Mormons are the Antichrist. And he's like, I'll see you later, boss. I got more campaigning to do. Like, nice talking to you. I'm not a Mormon. Thank you. All right. And then he's like, oh, shit. Let's fucking get out of here.
Again, I have a friend in Utah who is involved with the LDS church. I sent him a voice message saying I had a conversation with a person who had very sharp views. And it's just like you come across a lot of different people while you campaign.
Yeah.
And I shared this with him on Friday. And then we had our Sunday dinner and I ended up seeing a photo. That was the exact guy I spoke to last week.
So you saw the guy, and I'm not gonna, the shooter, you saw his picture on the news or on social media, and what was your?
Now, again, see, for me, ever the skeptic, I'm like, you ready for this, guys? Here's where my mind goes. Did this Chris Johns guy really see this guy and speak to him? Or is he just trying to elevate this because it's going to help him win a city council seat? Right? Oh, that's where I go right off the bat. I'm like, is this guy just playing this? Because now it's PR. He's going to be the most talked about city council candidate who's like blowing the whistle on this guy. I mean, what a great PR. What a great way to win an election. And I mean, you do run into a lot of people, though, going door to door. And like he said, he did call his friend, who was an LDS person in Utah, and left a message for him.
Your first reaction?
Shock. I mean, to have just interacted with a person who, again, he had very sharp views. And when we first started speaking, very positive, we just made just general chit chat. And then he went into his background, how he was a Marine. He had served overseas. And again, I'm going to paraphrase because I'm just going from memory, but he, to start new, had moved out to Utah to plow snow. He then began a relationship with a woman who was in the LDS church. And then the conversation changed to tattoos, which he had a lot of.
See, this is interesting, right? Because did this guy start hating the LDS church because he fell in love with a Mormon woman and he got rejected? I mean, when you look at these guys, right? I swear to you guys, when you look at guys like this, the rejection of a woman is like the type of thing every guy I have known that looks like this and vibes like this, like a machismo guy that also is not super good looking. He's kind of like a good old boy, probably has a little bit of rage issues. When these guys get rejected by women, man, I've seen some guys do some crazy shit, like stalking and you know what I'm saying? I mean, it sucks, dude. I don't want to generalize, but some of these guys some of these uber masculine sort of ex-military guys don't take to woman rejection very well. And they end up being domestic abusers. They end up being stalkers because of that type of shit. And I think the guys I'm talking about. They're like guys that don't have any, I don't know, they don't have any relational charm with women, right? They're awkward and they're shut off from their feelings. They usually have rage issues. A lot of times they have a drinking habit, right? And their rage comes out in things like sports or the neighbor. They fixate, right? If a neighbor moves in and they get in a situation with them, they'll go back and forth with their neighbor. And right? You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit, dude, yeah, it's tough. And so if he goes to Utah, falls in love with the fucking LDS woman, she rejects him. And then Charlie Kirk gets shot by a Mormon. Dude, now he's just...
And how he had to have all his tattoos removed in order to be, for certain religious ceremonies. And it was just a piece where I was very careful how I answered, because it's one of those things where I did not know what response was going to be acceptable to him. And so it's a case of I just wanted to get off the door and away from him.
So you just wanted to be nice and say, okay, have a nice day.
Exactly. And just try to do it the easiest way possible while kind of just walking, one step at a time. And again, when I first started, my daughter was with me. She was in the car because we're, driving from house to house. He was very nice. I mean, he was extremely nice. My daughter has special needs. She reached out to him. He held her hand. He was he talked about his child who had a serious medical concern and how just the care there.
All right, so I guess this guy's actually offering up quite a bit of information about this dude, so I think it's pretty real that he talked to him, right? You know what I mean?
For whatever reason, the conversation shifted from chit-chat into what are your thoughts about the Church of Latter-day Saints? And again, my cousin played football at BYU. I have friends who... So I have a history with BYU in the...
Dude, I actually have isn't it funny? I have a long history, guys. You ready for this? The one thing I don't have a long history of is Muslims. I don't know that many Muslims. I've not known that many Muslims. But I have a long history of knowing Jewish people a long history of knowing Mormon people, a long history of knowing Jehovah's Witnesses, and a long history of knowing evangelicals from the Assembly of God church and Catholics in the town I grew up in. And a bunch of my family was part of the Assembly of God evangelical church. Then they follow a prophet, this brother Duduman or whatever, some dude in Romania. They build churches in Romania and shit. But dude, I've had a long history of knowing people in some deep fucking religions, right? But I've not known that many Muslims, you know, which is weird. I don't know if it's because of like the parts of the country I've lived in or what, right? I didn't really get to know many Muslims until I got into gaming is when I started meeting some Muslims, right? And well, a little bit before that, there was a Muslim guy from Kenya that I was real close friends with his girlfriend, and I helped him. I did some video for him. Like he built a stove that were like, because in Kenya, the Maasai people, they cook with charcoal stoves indoors, and a lot of them die very young because that's the only way they can cook. So Payan created a fucking stove made out of vermiculite and concrete that burns wood pellets with no smoke. And I did a bunch of video helping him fundraise for this shit. And then he invented this smokeless stove, and he went back to Kenya to teach the Maasai people how to build them to like help his fucking people. You know what I mean? Which is like crazy. And he was a Muslim, right? And but dude, yeah, no, he was amazing. He was part of this arts collective that was not like painters and shit. They were people who built shit. And like, dude, this guy's a fucking genius, bro. And so I did a bunch of really cheap work for him, like helping him do that project. And I loved it too, because like thinking about like the people there that are stuck, you know, having to use charcoal stoves indoors. Like, dude, that's so unhealthy, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, he's fucking cool as shit.
Mormon church, you don't know what you're going to say that could potentially cause a reaction. So I kept my views to myself and walked away.
So at no time did you feel there wasn't any threatening or violence? It was just kind of you thought off the wall kind of talking.
Exactly. It wasn't like next week, this Sunday I'm going to do. It was more of a case of just views that were shared. And again, I mean, what I just walked away from was a person who was very animated and mentioned that, for lack of a better term, that Mormons were the Antichrist.
Dude, yeah, that's heavy duty. And yeah, so I have a lot of problems with evangelicals, guys. The speaking in tongues, yeah, I participate in some of that. But my base problem with evangelicals is that there is they become possessed by this idea that they are the chosen people, especially the Calvinist kind, where you have evangelicals that have a lot of money and they believe that their financial success is a sign that they are doing the good God work, okay? Which is really toxic because money kind of pollutes people and makes them selfish and severe and they lose all their compassion. And so when you have a lot of money and you believe that that money's a sign that you're blessed by God, when in fact money is like the least godly thing out there, it creates a special type of severity where they believe that everything they do is just okay. If they break the rules, if they break the law, it's like they don't bat an eye about it because they believe that they have redemption waiting for them and they are like the true missionaries of God. And they're being like, that money is like a sign that they're the chosen ones. And so it creates like a doubly toxic sort of like controlling aspect to them that is really dangerous. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous stew. It's like the ego is wild. And America was founded on Calvinists evangelicals. Like, they were people who believed their riches were a sign that they were doing the correct work of God. And then the people who are poor are like doing it wrong. They're like the devils. You know what I'm saying? Or, right? It's fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is fucked up. But so let's see if we can watch a quick report on this guy, and then we're going to dance and we're going to get out. Dude, this is fucked up. I want to see sort of what happened here.
The violence unfolded shortly after 10 Sunday morning at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. A gunman rammed his truck into the building where a church service was going on and opened fire using what authorities say was an assault rifle.
Dude, Jesus. He drives his truck into the building and then opens fire with an assault rifle.
The service was active. There was hundreds of people within the church.
Authorities say at least 4 people were killed.
Let me say we are heartbroken. This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community, and we are heartbroken that it came to Grand Blanc Township.
The gunman was killed by police. Authorities believe the gunman, a 40-year-old Michigan man, intentionally set fire to the church. The fire quickly spread, engulfing the entire structure in flames before it was eventually brought under control. Authorities say the search continues for more victims.
So we're working tirelessly to find additional bodies. The entire church has not been cleared because it's a total loss due to the fire. So these first responders right now, they're in recovery mode. They're trying to fight through all the debris.
At a Sunday evening press conference, officials hailed the bravery of those gathered in the church when the gunman opened fire.
I'd also like to acknowledge the heroism of not only the first responders, but the people who were inside that church at the time. They were shielding the children who were also present within the church, moving them to safety. Just hundreds of people just practicing their faith.
Yeah, so Mike, there is no, like, we know this guy. If you go back and watch this stream, this guy, there is no doubt that he was a devout MAGA, Charlie Kirk, TPUSA. Like, this guy was from a very, very right-wing, openly right-wing, MAGA, Trump-loving, pro-TPUSA family. They were, I am Charlie Kirk wristbands and shit. We know what side this guy is. There is no question, dude. The family is fucking conspiracy theorists. Like 4chan people, dude.
Authorities say they believe the gunman acted alone and are working now to determine a motive. Terrell Bailey, CBS News, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy, dude. He is, there he is, right? But they have his fucking, right? They have his entire fucking accounts with fucking, all the MAGA shit, Trump train. Dude, they're all over it. All over this shit, bro. Like, anti-vax. God bless President Trump. God bless Charlie Kirk. Dude. It's fucking, this guy was deeply, deeply fucking right wing. Yeah, no messaging on the bullets. I won't be surprised, guys, I won't be surprised if Cash Patel is tweeting tomorrow morning saying, hey guys, we found some bullet casings that say, you know what, I really am not MAGA at all. My family's really MAGA, and I became a leftist like a week ago, and now I'm really fucking pissed, right? Right? It's like, dude, it's going to be written on a giant howitzer shell at his house. I swear I'm not MAGA. I'm really deeply he's deeply a furry. Yeah, no, he's very right wing. Right? fucking Trump shit, crosses. Jesus. Thomas Jacob Sanford, bankrupt in 2009. Okay. He's, you know, super Christian wife, right? Ex-Marine, probably had some fucking issues from being a Marine, but they definitely big time Trumpies. Dude, and then another one though is we have the North Carolina guy too. The guy who shot from the boat in North Carolina is an ex-Marine too, I believe. Right? The two former veterans. I mean, dude, shit is rough, dude. That's rough, man.
Paula was in that vehicle. You were in that car when the shooting happened. You were inside the church.
I was inside the church.
You were inside the church. So walk me through what happened.
Okay, we went to church. We sat down. We had just gotten done with our sacrament, the sacrament for our meeting. One of our counselors was up speaking, and we heard a big bang, and the doors blew. And then everybody rushed out. And we went through the church and out through the parking lot. They were trying to get us down to the lake. But the lady that I was trying to help out, she couldn't make it that far, so we got us back up in the parking lot and got us into the Taylor's car. When we got in the cars and we flipped around, and that's when the shooter started shooting at the car. And Brother Taylor is fine. It hit his hand.
Jesus.
And then we got over there and we came here, and these nice people let us in, and we've been here since.
See, here's the problem, guys. Is everybody who goes into the military has PTSD. They all do, but we don't have good treatment for this shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't have good treatment for this. I mean, you can't, like my brothers came out of the military. Every one of my brothers, except one who went to jail, every one of them was in the military. One of them for like 16 years. And I would have gone in the military too if I had been different, if I was a different kid. There was no way I was going, especially once I saw the way they were when they came back. Like, oh my God, like I had a brother in the Navy who went to the Persian Gulf during the first Bush war. And like, dude, when he came back, he was so fucked up, guys. I have never seen somebody's personality change more than him doing a couple tours of the Persian Gulf and like shooting boats. They were killing, like sinking civilian boats. And when he came back, he was a fucking shell, bro. He was a fucking like, and he couldn't get decent medical help. I mean, the VA sucks, right? I mean, it does. And I mean, there's shit like EMDR, there's tapping, there are treatments for this stuff. You can do psychedelic therapy, but a lot of this shit's just not covered by, you know what I'm saying, by the VA. The VA is like, I don't know, it's a really a tangled mess. And mostly what happens with soldiers is they get used and then they get spit out. They use them for these duties, and then they're like, good luck to you, and fuck off, right? And it's really sad. I mean, our American system we don't treat mental health at all in this country. In fact, if you take care of your mental health, people try to act like you're weak or weird or there's something wrong with you. When the reality is, guys, is try driving a car 100,000 miles without ever doing an oil change. You're not going to have a fucking car, okay? Every 3,000 miles, you're getting an oil change. Every 20,000, you're fucking flushing the radiator. Every 40,000, new brakes. You know what I mean? And like the human brain is like that too, man. We should be doing EMDR. right? We should be doing yoga, meditation, participating in, massage therapy. There's so many modalities to like take care of the body and the mind. And we don't do that shit. We just, and we, or we get doped up on medication, right? And you know what I'm saying? And the thing is mental health is a very precarious thing. We all have some type of ADD, ADHD, OCD, depression, or anxiety, like all of us do. In very mania, we all have that. It's just normal to have that, right? And this idea, though, of us pretending like taking care of our mind and our feelings and emotions is some sign of weakness. Like I saw somebody even who said mental fortitude is a thing. Dude, that is nonsense. Mental fortitude? What is mental fortitude, right? Like, to me, mental fortitude sounds like somebody who's not going to admit when they have a fucking problem. And they're going to think that they can just ignore shit. And like everybody I've known in my life who was all about mental fortitude usually had some kind of rage issue, right? Or some issue at not being able to manage their emotions. They would bottle and then burst, right? When the reality is like this idea of like mental fortitude or not being too emotional is nonsensical. Like we are all really emotional. Like the normal human response. You ready? I'm going to break it down for you. Every time you don't get what you want, you get filled with rage or sadness. Like everybody does. Every single time. You know what I mean? Like we get so emotional. I'll go to the grocery store and if I ask them to cut meat and the guy says, "Oh, I can't cut any more meat tonight," I'm ready to fucking punch somebody in the fucking face because I'm not getting what I want. And I don't see why that guy can't do what I want him to do, right? Totally natural reaction. Or some people will get it from sadness, right? Some people turn it inward and they feel like, you know what I mean? There's a wide range of things. But the fact of the matter is we all have really wildly extreme emotions sometimes over really nonsensical shit, right? It could be really deep sadness or deep rage or deep shame or what have you, but we act like that's something that not everybody has, and I think particularly with men, and I don't mean to jump on the person who said fortitude, because I don't think they're like probably meant anything bad, but I think particularly with men, we get taught that if you acknowledge and address your emotions, if you pay attention to them, and acknowledge them, express them, and address them, that you're like a weak or inferior type of man. And that's really harmful. That's why the male suicide rate is so much higher. That's why men, if you talk to women and men in relationships, a lot of women feel cut off from their partner. They feel disconnected from them. They feel like their partner is distant. And they usually cover it up with alcohol or television or work. They become workaholics, and society excuses workaholism because you're taking care of your family, right? But it's all bullshit. It's a bunch of men like on the run from their own fucking inner workings, and they're expressing it in ways that are totally not fulfilling. So they're workaholics and they make a bunch of money for their family, and then they're all alone. And they're disconnected and they feel like they got no one in the world. And they hide behind a smile until they jump out of the fucking office building and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I bet, Felony, I bet right now because of the environment with Trump, I'm sure trans people are like suffering. But dude, I watched my dad, bro. I watched my dad like just be a man who could not get in touch with his emotions. And he was so fucked up, man. And he tried to make me that way, dude. He tried to condition me. Like when he would hit me, right? When he would hit you as a little kid, if you cried, he hit you harder, right? Because he was trying to train you to be able to be hit and not cry. And I was like, well, I guess you're hitting me harder because I'm fucking crying because this shit hurts. And I'm not going to turn into a fucking like a sociopath like you that just sits there and soaks up pain and turns it inward. Fuck that, bro. Like, go ahead and hit me harder. I don't give a shit. Fuck you, boss. I'm serious. That shit really bothered me because that to me was like, dude, he was trying to train me to like lose my emotions, you know? And dude, no way, man, bro. That, you know, no way, dude. No fucking way. You know? Dude, it's fucked up. He was a fucked up man. And he died alone because he like pushed me away, dude. He couldn't even have a relationship with me because he was so fucking weak. And he wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't fucking, you know what I mean? He wouldn't fucking come in and like, I don't know. He couldn't process his own emotions, you know? And the irony though, too, was how weak he was, right? He was hard in suppressing things, but he was so weak, right? He was so fucking weak. You're sorry? Oh, I get it. You don't have to be though. I've repaired a lot of that shit, guys. Right? I mean, I can laugh about it now, you know, and like, but there was a time, dude, where like I had some serious fucking rage issues. I did, dude. I had serious rage issues that expressed themselves in a lot of drug use and a lot of wild sexual endeavors, right? But I went to probably 12 years of therapy. You know, obviously I got sober 18 years ago. I did EMDR for 2 years. I did, you know, Vipassana meditation. I've done a lot of shit, right? A lot of like healing work and done the 12 steps a couple times, you know, a lot of work, boss. I had to clean up a lot of that shit. Dude, you know, but, and what's more though, I was able to raise my son a little different, not perfect. I mean, you know, I have like issues with my son too and shit. Right, because I'm not perfect, but I've done better. Okay, EMDR is amazing. We should all be doing EMDR, dude. Coda is great. Coda or Al-Anon if you have alcoholic parents, I highly recommend it. If you have parents who are alcoholics and you're not an alcoholic yourself, please go to Al-Anon or Coda, Codependence Anonymous. Please, that codependence, you're living with a burden that you shouldn't have to live with. 28 years, October 1st. Let's go, Sam. Good job. All right. But now I'm going to go make some videos. All right. Dude, no, raising kids isn't easy. And what I discovered too with raising kids is it like weirdly raising kids makes you run into how you were raised. That was one of the first things I noticed was how raising my son, I got in touch with the rage I felt against my own dad. And what was my initial instinct was to dump that rage towards my son. And I was like, wow, this is how the cycle of abuse happens. Is your kid's just being a kid and you're filled with rage because it's triggering your own childhood. And then you over control your kid, but you're really just playing out your own shit. And I was like, whoa, dude, I don't want to be mad at this kid. This kid's not doing anything wrong. He's just being a fucking kid. It's like the issue is I'm feeling rage at my dad but I'm feeling it at my kid, but it's really not about my kid. It's about my dad. Right. And that was a real eye opener, you know? And so when I figured that out, I was like, holy shit. And then I started seeing how my dad was abusive with me. And I was like, fuck, I think that's what was happening to the man is he didn't even realize that the rage he was taking out on me was really a rage he had against his own father. He had no idea. He was just operating while triggered. Right. But you know what I'm saying? But now we're gonna dance. All right. You ready? You guys ready? It's time for edit mode, baby. Let's go! All right, we're going out on a dance party. Woo! Going out on our favorite Swedish performer. Let's go, baby! I love it! Oh! Little bit of deja vu. Here we go, baby. You guys should be dancing. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight. All those gifted memberships and the new members. Thank you guys. Welcome aboard. Let me just say I appreciate you guys showing up and helping to keep me sane through this Trump chaos, dude. I'm serious. I don't know what I would be doing without you guys. Seriously, dude, like you help me so much with my fucking mental health. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like so much. Like not having to go through this Trump shit alone. Dude, helping you guys stay sane too. Awesome. That's good. Let's go. We're going to keep being here for each other. And right now we're getting into it though with a little bit of deja vu. Let's go. Come on. Woo. Something good out of this. You could be late, you could be true. Steve, let's go! You're the only one who's strong. And I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. I'm sure, 'cause I want more. All right, guys, I'm gonna go make some videos. Thank you again for a great night. I pretend that something is missing. Chances are you will not 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this? All right, we're gonna go out the way we came in. The little bit of Do You Need. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, you ready? You ready? Oh, get it. Good night.
Anything like I need you, it's over. Do you need anything like I need you? what I think. I will drown in pain. Yeah. Paint away, day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them, nothing is what I